away. Portugal with 5 Euro Beach Soccer League titles, 7 wins in the Euro Beach Soccer Cup. But even though this is their 3rd time here in the Intercontinental Cup, they've never secured victory in this competition. Is that about to change now this evening? If it is, they'll have to rip up the form book. Here we go then. Portugal playing from left to right, and Bruno Torres with an early header. They've played twice, these two sides, in this competition over the years. One of them, of course, in the group stages a little earlier this week when Brazil won 4-1. 2 goals for Rodrigo, 1 for Boquino, 1 for Fernando Dede. That was in his 100th appearance for his country. No goals at all in the final period of that match, and Portugal's only goal was a Felipe own goal as he deflected in a Maja overhead. Over the top from Jordan Santos. Portugal will need a big match from him. 8 goals from him in the tournament thus far. At the moment he's the leading scorer. Datina, who scored that spectacular free kick yesterday as one of a brace against Iran in the semi-finals. 4 goals for him in the tournament up to this point in time, and he had a match off against the UAE, so he should be fresh. So these two sides met earlier in the tournament, but they also met in the semi-final of 2014. That's a free kick. Jordan Santos pulling back the shirt of Mauricinho. Free kick just fractionally inside the Brazilian half, so it means the players can be goal side of the ball. Yeah, in that semi-final in 2014, Brazil won 5-3. 2 goals for Nuno Belchior, the Portugal striker, who's not here now, and Maja, the other scorer for them. Mauricinho scuffs his shot there. Brazil's goals: Anderson, Fernando Dede got a couple, Sydney and Rodrigo. Rodrigo's been in red hot form in this tournament. 7 goals for the number 9. Oh, goodness me. Bruno Torres going for the overhead, and he's kicked Felipe in the head. That's got to be a booking. Well, I mentioned already today that high feet are commonplace in beach soccer, but dangerous play still exists among the rules. Bruno Torres doesn't get a booking. I think he'll be lucky to get away with that. I've seen players sent off for attempting overheads like that and kicking members of the opposition in the head.
I need 2 more players now.
I think it's fair to say that Felipe had every right to go for that with his head. Well, the referee opting to show a little bit of discretion there and not giving Bruno Torres a booking. Like I said, I've seen players booked or even sent off for that. But giving Bruno Torres the benefit of the doubt. A free kick on the edge of the Brazil area. So it's about 26 metres from Ellington Andrade's goal. Very central position. Felipe, who scored a very cute little goal last night in the semi-final, not scoring this time though. Cute goals when he just nicked in and got the better of an Iranian back pass and took the ball past Payman Hosseini. It was a good little dummy there from Bernardo Martins. He's Brazilian born. There's 3 players in this Portugal squad born in Brazil. The Martins brothers, Leo and Bernardo, and also Ellington Andrade. Oh, nice little reverse pass from Bernardo Martins, and a clattering tackle from Bruno Xavier on Bruno Torres. Bruno Torres, no stranger to those sorts of tackles himself, of course. Oh, and another crunching tackle, this time from Datina. Brazil mean business, let me tell you that. But that was a clumsy challenge. He didn't get the ball that time, Datina. He's conceded the free kick, bringing down Bernardo Martins, who's rolling around like he's been shot. Yes, it was a poor challenge that from Datina, but clearly Brazil are fired up. I mentioned yesterday during the semi-final against Iran that yes, Brazil have got a whole heap of skills. They really are an incredibly talented side. 14 times world champions, of course. But what we've seen in this match, and indeed what we've seen throughout their unbeaten run that they've had under Gilberto da Costa de Souza, is that their defensive work rate, their closing down, their tackling, that's also been second to none. And that's what their wonderful run at the moment is based on. Wonderful all-round action. So a free kick to Portugal on this near side. Bernardo Martins is up and about. Lengthy run for him. And he strikes that really well. Mau makes a good save, and then the block comes in from Bruno Xavier. Leo Martins flicks it to his twin brother Bernardo. Bruno Xavier then gets between the ball and the Portuguese number 11, Mauricinho. Bruno Xavier once more. Tatina shows a little bit too much of that to Bruno Torres, gets away with it though. Oh, it's off the crossbar from Bruno Xavier and then wide from Mauricinho. He thinks it should be a corner. That's not given. Bruno Xavier is on the cusp of history here this evening. 36 goals for him in the history of the Beach Soccer Intercontinental Cup. Just needs one to draw level with the Swiss bomber Dejan Stankovic. Stankovic, 37 goals, the leading scorer in the history of this tournament. Jordan Santos just keeps that in play. Brazil, incidentally, also need just 4 goals for the most in the history of one edition of this tournament. They hold that record with 39 12 months ago. They've got 36 already. And if they can get 6 goals this evening, that'll make them the all-time leading scorers in the history of this tournament. This is the 7th edition. Russia 178 goals, Brazil now 173. And that despite the fact that Brazil have played in one less edition. Rodrigo tries to get Lucao going, but breakdown in communication between those two. Bruno Xavier, incidentally, I mentioned 36 goals for him. The only player in the history of this tournament to score hat-tricks in 4 different editions. 13, 14, 16 and 17. What a record. Here's Fernando Dede, who was the top scorer in 2012's edition with 10 goals. Lucao. Boquina, released by Bruno Novo. Fernando Dede can just about keep that in play, but challenged by Madja. It's still going. Oh, and the flick header from Rodrigo. Rodrigo wanted the ball delivered to him lower. Bruno Novo. Madja. Oh, it's just a little bit too high for him. Normally, something on his left foot, and you can start racking up the goals. The overhead from Lucao. Yeah, Madja's left foot, that's one to be kept an eye on. 40 years young, the Portugal captain, now transitioning from playing towards coaching. But still plenty to prove, plenty to achieve in this tournament. Well, that would look very nice on his sideboard, wouldn't it? Rodrigo again not happy with the distribution and making the point to Mau this time. Maja, that left foot of his, but that's off target this time. He scored a stunning goal against Egypt earlier in the competition. A first-time volley with his left foot. Ball coming over his right shoulder. Distribution from Andrade. Boquina's in the mix. Bruno Novo battling with him and doing well, but Boquina's still getting his foot in there. Maja attempting the overhead. Felipe finds Boquina just inside the Portugal penalty area. Battling with Bruno Novo again. It's almost a wrestling match. Boquina still good enough to get the shot in, and it kicked up off the sand and just over the crossbar. Jordan Santos flicks it forward towards Leo Martins. It was in the danger area and Felipe got it out. Lovely flick from Bruno Xavier to Leão. Needs to be closed down by Portugal and is, thanks to Jordan Santos. Hooked clear by Pedro Silva. First time on the sand for him this evening. Bruno Novo once more. He scored that spectacular overhead against Russia in the semi-final yesterday. Jordan Santos felt he was clobbered in the back by Boquina, and the referee on that far side agrees. Boquina not convinced. Boquina felt he was trying to play the ball, but in order to do that he had to go through Jordan Santos. So this is a great opportunity for Portugal to open the scoring. If you wanted anybody to be in this position, it would either be Maja or Jordan Santos, and Jordan Santos with his trademark 15-metre run. He's going to strike this left-footed. 8 goals already in the tournament. Can he make it 9? Up against the imposing figure of Mao. Oh, he's hit the post, and it's gone wide. Mao was left flat-footed, but Jordan Santos was off target. You can't afford to pass up opportunities like that against Brazil. They've looked a gift horse in the mouth there, have Portugal. Morosinho back to Mao. Miscontrol by Tatina. Forward by Bernardo Martins, looking for his twin brother. Bruno Xavier across to Morosinho. He looked for the overhead, but he doesn't get the contact that he wanted. Bernardo Martins trying to get away from Morosinho. Can't find his brother. Just less than 3 minutes to go in the first period. No goals thus far. It's been that sort of day really in this Huawei Beach Soccer Intercontinental Cup. Very uncharacteristic in terms of the lack of goals today. It's a free kick to Portugal. Leo Martins going down. We've had 139 goals so far. That's level with the fewest goals ever in the history of this tournament since it became a 20-match event. We had 139 goals in 2014. We did have fewer goals in 2011 in the initial event, the inaugural event. That was over 16 games. That was 118 then. Just wide. They're passing up these chances. Portugal, Leo Martins. This time, got to hit the target in that sort of situation. You really must. Rodrigo. He doesn't hit the target there. Hits the back row of the stand. 2.5 minutes left in the first period. Leo Martins tries to find Bruno Torres. Rodrigo. Datina. Cut out by Jordan Santos. Now, is that a free kick? Brazil think it should be. Looking at that replay, you could probably agree. Portugal claiming the throw-in. Datina's down. Bruno Xavier complaining the decision's not gone Brazil's way. Datina not that impressed either. Interesting, that was right in front of the Brazilian bench, and Gilberto da Costa de Souza was just standing there, legs crossed, as if he was admiring a nice sunset. Really, looks very relaxed now. Jordan Santos is rolling round. Datina with the challenge, and this time the free kick is given. Perhaps looking at that angle you can see why. Bruno Xavier, as captain, is complaining to the referee. Bruno Torres is trying to make the point that the free kick should be in a slightly more central position. The referees say not having any of that, and Jordan Santos has the opportunity still to send this one goalwards. I mentioned that Gilberto da Costa de Souza looks very relaxed on the bench. He was telling the FIFA Beach Soccer Workshop yesterday that he does a lot of meditation. He said he hasn't been sent off from the bench for 3 years. Oh dear. That really is a disappointing free kick from Jordan Santos. That's 3 good opportunities they've passed up now, Portugal, from dead ball situations. They can't keep doing that and expect to stay in the match. Oh, Rodrigo. And that was a good save from Andrade. Got across his goal quickly. And Bruno Xavier with the header. Ricardinho on the sand for the first time this evening, and he's played his side into trouble. Good save, Andrade. Tremendous stop. Ricardinho simply set up Bruno Xavier there, who tried to pass it into the bottom corner. But for Andrade, he'd have succeeded. Rodrigo will look for the overhead. Just wide, only fractionally wide it was. Maja, there's that left footer again, but not quite the same result as he got against Egypt. Just illustrates what a difficult skill it is. Flicked inside by Bruno Xavier, and well done by Bruno Novo, getting contact ahead of Morosino. If he hadn't done, Morosino was through on goal. 10 seconds to go. Maja, there's the left foot volley again, and again he doesn't quite master it. That should be the last action of the first period. Indeed it is. So, in keeping with much of what we've seen during the course of this final day of the Huawei Beach Soccer Intercontinental Cup, we're struggling for goals. The final, so much at stake, and both sides, well, they know the importance. Brazil chasing their 3rd title, Portugal their 1st. Portugal have passed up several good opportunities from dead ball situations, but we're still goalless. Brazil 0, Portugal 0.
Everybody knows this game. And a count of 3, 2, 1. You guys can defend over, hold the ball, and spin around it 10 seconds clockwise.
Let's have a look at some highlights then.
Again, 3, 2, 1, go. You sprint, you get the ball to the goal.
Felipe with an early free kick, which cleared the crossbar by quite some distance.
Okay, please bend over.
Free kick from Bernardo Martins, which was well saved by Mao. That was the first of a whole host of chances that they passed up, Portugal. Wonderful effort that from Bruno Xavier, just kissing the crossbar as it kicked up over Andrade.
5, 4, 3, 2, reverse.
Jordan Santos really should have scored there.
9.
As should Leo Martins. Certainly have hit the target. Good save again from Andrade on that occasion from Rodrigo.
9, 8,
Overhead from Rodrigo, just wide. And only just. But we're still locked up then. 0-0.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Go, 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 go! Oh! Hey, get here. All right, now we're going to call on Mr. Alicia Joseph from Emirates Equity to present the stock jersey of Manchester United. So our winner for this young man, Armin. All right, get busy? All right, chill. All right, here we go. Armin. There's his jersey. Thank you very much for joining. All right. There we go. Thanks for joining, by the way. How you feeling? You good? Busy. Here, this is Mom Lady. This is Rihanna. Yeah, cool. That's water. Hey, bro, what you doing there? What you doing, man? Controlling. Stop. Okay, let's go. Congratulations, Armin. All right. Are you having a good time? Okay, awesome. Thank you. This is Alicia Joseph. Appreciate it. Green can. Remember, thank you. All right. What's up? What you guys doing? You want some jerseys too? Blessed game. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Here we go then, period number 2 in the final, 0-0 so far. Brazil getting us underway, and good goalkeeping from Andrade, snuffing out the danger from Bruno Xavier. Mentioned previously that these two sides know each other extremely well. They've played on numerous occasions in various different tournaments. We're in the quarter-finals of this year's FIFA Beach Soccer World Cup finals, with Brazil winning 4-3. Portugal were the defending champions, of course. Brazil on their way to winning the world title for the first time in 8 years. They've played 14 times in the World Cup, and Brazil winning 12 of those, Portugal twice. 2 semi-finals in 2001, when Portugal first won the world crown, and then again in 2005. And when they've both taken part in Mundialito tournaments, which have been going longer than the Beach Soccer World Cup actually. The Mundialito tournaments began in 1994. When they've gone head-to-head in those tournaments, Brazil have won the tournament 13 times, Portugal have won it 3 times. Portugal have actually won the Mundialito 5 times in total, but 2 of those occasions in 2012 and 2014, Brazil weren't taking part. Brazil's total Mundialito success, 14. In that initial tournament in 1994, the other teams in that 4-team event were Italy, the USA and Argentina.
We're giving away a lot of beach soccer balls. So don't you guys go away.
Going to be a corner then to Portugal. Bernardo Martins will take it below our commentary position. Happy to go all the way back to his goalkeeper. And then gets it back with interest from Andrade. Great distribution from the stopper. Jordan Santos with the overhead, but that's off target. Moracinho getting away from Leo Martins, and good defensive work from his brother Bernardo, heading out for a corner. Latina. Rodrigo, the overhead. Oh, that was possibly heading in. Andrade wasn't prepared to take the risk, pushing that behind for a corner. Just wonder if all those dead ball missed opportunities for Portugal are going to come back and bite them on the backside. Fernando Dede. Good tackle from Bruno Torres. Bernardo Martins. Well, surely he's pulling Morosino back there. Yes, the free kick given in the end. I think the referee was just waiting to see whether any advantage would accrue. It didn't. There's some complaints from Bruno Torres there and Martins himself. Leo Martins getting in the mix as well. Bruno Torres quite animated. You can see quite clearly there that Bernardo Martins was doing a whole lot of pulling back on Morosino's left arm. So the free kick is inside the Portugal half, so it means that all the players have to be behind the ball. Morosino. Oh, that was heading for Ellington Andrade's left-hand corner. He was happy to push it away. Another corner conceded by Portugal. Boquina will take it to the back post. No one's picked up Fernando Dede. Rodrigo twisting and turning one way then the other. 4 minutes gone already in this second period. Bruno Novo concedes the throw-in. Lucao. Scissor kick from him. Good save, Andrade. And then Lucao looks at the Brazilian fans in the stand and says, come on, make some noise. Concerted period of pressure this from Brazil. And that explains why Bruno Novo is quite happy to hook the ball anyway, just get it out of danger. Oh, Rodrigo to Lucao. The ball was just behind him. Oh, it's in, yes! What wonderful quick feet from Boquina. He opened his body up, opened his right foot up and passed the ball in off Andrade's left-hand upright. Hit the inside of the post and ricocheted across the goal and into the opposite corner. So Brazil take the lead. Really cute finish that. Lucao had done the spade work. One touch to control with his left foot by Boquina and one touch with his right to finish off. Beautiful goal. His fifth of this Huawei Beach Soccer Intercontinental Cup 2017, and in the 5th minute of the second period, Brazil hit the front. Madja. Look for the overhead. Oh, Pedro Silva's there and he can't take advantage. He was at the back post. All he needed to do was tap it in, but he just wanted to take one touch. In all fairness to him, the ball skidded at him a little bit. I think he was expecting it to come at him in the way it did. That's a good tackle. Very good tackle from Pedro Silva at the other end. Oh, goodness me. Ball finds its way across goal. Lucao. Andrade makes the save, and then look at that for dominance by Mao. Charging out of his goal. That's why he's one of the best goalkeepers in the world, even at 38. His opposite number's 38 as well, Ellington Andrade. They've both won World Cups. Madja. Oh, just wide. Pedro Silva at full stretch. The shot from Madja, I'm sure that's what it was going wide, and Pedro Silva tried to deflect it goalwards and couldn't quite manage it. Ricardinho. Madja. The overhead from him. So the ball on the sand here in Mao's penalty area. The referee actually is going to come on and remove it. So play can carry on now. Bruno Xavier finds Morosino. Felipe battling with three Portugal defenders. He's still in there. Andrade in the end can get the ball clear to Bruno Novo. Play being held up. Gets Leo Martins down in the edge of the Portugal penalty area. Wants some water. A bit of sand in his face. It's an occupational hazard, of course, in beach soccer. Mario Narciso looks quite serene on the bench for Portugal, as does his opposite number, Gilberto da Costa de Souza. As I mentioned, he's serene virtually the whole time, I think. Brazil win this title, they'll become only the second side to retain the Beach Soccer Intercontinental Cup. Oh yes, that's another step towards winning the title for Brazil. It's Felipe. Look at the joy on the bench there. What a fantastic finish. Wrapping his left foot around that one and high into the roof of Andrade's net. Goals on successive evenings for Felipe, taking the ball on his chest, and then, well, that really was terrific, wasn't it? Didn't even need a touch to control it. Just adjusted his body position and bang. Didn't he enjoy it? Why not? Brazil double their lead, 2-0. It's already looking like an uphill task for Portugal. Mentioned earlier whether they would regret their profligacy when it came to those dead ball situations in the first period, and already that's looking as though it's going to be the case. Need to turn this around and turn it around quickly, but that's easier said than done, isn't it? Oh, Datina just losing concentration. Give and go by Jordan Santos with Leo Martins, but couldn't quite reach the ball. It's less than 3.5 minutes to go in the second period. Morosino with a give and go this time with Felipe, and in the end, good defensive work, a combination of Jordan Santos and Andrade gets the ball up and over the crossbar. But Brazil really are turning the screw here. Towards the back post. And what's Bruno Xavier appealing for there? Not sure, but ball's gone behind. It's a Portugal restart. Leo Martins on the edge of the Brazil penalty area, having to go back, closed down very effectively by Datina. Rodrigo. Oh, he's gone round Bernardo Martins. That's wonderful skill and electric pace. He's an excitement machine, is Rodrigo, as is Datina. Across the face of goal from him. Goodness me. Portugal will be praying for the interval now. It's another 2 minutes to go before they get there. But they really are very much under the cosh. Leo Martins, his brother Bernardo, goes for the shot and in the end does really well to retain possession. That's brilliant skill. From the back heel to Jordan Santos. That was breathtaking stuff from Portugal number 11, who's on the ball again now. Leo Martins.
Okay, time remaining now is 1 minute and
25
seconds here in the second.
Datina racing onto that one, but Andrade mops up. Oh, loss of concentration from Lucao. Into the last minute then of period number 2. Rodrigo, and again that electric turn of pace from him. Not the finish to match on this occasion. 7 goals from him in the tournament so far. Jordan Santos not able to catch that one. Oh, goodness me, at the back post. Fernando Dede almost latching on to Lucao's overhead. He was within a whisker of getting a touch to send that into the back of the net. That would have been a real kick in the guts for Portugal just before the interval. The hoot is gone. And they're still just about within touching distance of Brazil, but only just. Portugal passing up several opportunities in the first period with dead ball chances. They didn't take them, and now Brazil are in the lead. Boquina, he got the first goal, and Felipe the second. And Brazil, well, they've got one hand on the Huawei Beach Soccer Intercontinental Cup trophy. Yeah, let's have a look at some highlights from the second period. And pretty much one-way traffic, you'd say. Mao didn't have an awful lot to do. Ellington Andrade, he was extremely busy man, having to make several excellent saves, that one from Lucao among them, seeing it from numerous angles. That was the goal that opened proceedings from a score point of view. Boquina, one touch to control with his left and one with his right to finish. Beautiful fast feet. That was 1-0. Pedro Silva, his feet weren't quite as fast there at the back post. He wasn't expecting the ball to come past Rodrigo, I don't think. It needed a tap in, and he wasn't able to produce it. How about that for a finish from Felipe on the turn, wrapping his left foot around it and sending it into the roof of the net. 2-0 for Brazil. Celebrations for him. And Brazil looked very likely to get a third, but for Andrade, who's made some terrific stops. Fernando Dede so close to being on the end of that one. So Portugal with it all to do, and Brazil, well, they're looking comfortable at the moment, aren't they?
He's going to guess a number, give a number from 1 to 1,917. Okay, so I want you to choose any number between that. And if you hear your number, please raise your right. Please raise your hands up so we can give you the prize. It's the Rally Bluetooth speaker, okay? So choose a number between the 1 and the 1,917. 755. 755. Anybody with that number? 755. Okay, it's a Huawei Bluetooth speaker. 755. Anybody with that number? 755. Come on, people. 755. Anybody with that number? You gotta show up your stubs like this one. It's a white piece of paper with a couple of numbers. Okay, you can claim your prize at the fan zone. Okay, Huawei 10, the fan zone. Okay. 775. Is there anybody with that number? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Sandwich. All right, pleasure having you. You having a good time? I'm talking about. You good, bro? Awesome. Okay, go. Hello, Em, how you doing? You want to introduce yourself to everybody watching today? Okay, I want you to choose from 1 to 1,917, except 755. What number comes to your mind right now? Number 7.
Off again then in the third and final period.
All the Spanish fans in the house. Number 7. Anyone with number 7 stuff?
Brazil 2-0 to the good. Burkina and Felipe.
Number 7. Oh!
Twice winners of this title, Brazil, 2014, and they're the defending champions too.
Yeah.
Are they going to retain their crown? Bowled long by Mao. How can Portugal get back into this match, I wonder? Jordan Santos, perhaps. He could be pivotal. Bernardo Martins trying to fashion room for a shot, but again, Brazil so adept at closing down. That's exactly what Bruno Xavier did there. Moracinho finds Felipe. Slide rule precision with that pass from Felipe. Datina. Felipe! Oh, it's off the inside of the post. Datina! Goodness me, they just seem to create so much space, Brazil, when they play. It looked as though they had an extra man on the sand there. Well, how on earth Portugal going to get anything out of this match? It's a mystery to me, because Brazil seems so comfortable. Stranger things have happened, of course, in beach soccer. At the moment, this is Brazil's to lose, you would say. It's a free kick. Bruno Xavier conceding it. Keep coming back to those dead ball opportunities that Portugal missed in the first period. If they'd have taken a couple of those, and they had 3, possibly 4, by kindest count, that they should perhaps have scored, then we might be looking at an entirely different scenario. At the moment, well, Brazil looking comfortable. Free kick then for Portugal, deep inside their own penalty area. Bernardo Martins will take it. Players are allowed to be goal side of the ball. He's got a clear line of sight to Mao's goals. He's pretty close to where Datina scored yesterday. And Mao getting an awkward one just on the half volley. And he flicked the ball up with his foot and then caught it. Fernando Dede. Mao and Fernando Dede, along with Bruno Xavier, the only players in this Brazilian squad who are over the age of 30. As Gilberto da Costa de Souza said yesterday at the FIFA Beach Soccer Workshop, players are sufficiently young in his squad to maybe have a couple more World Cups in them. That's a terrible thought from the point of view of other teams who are likely to have to come up against them. Bernardo Martins looking to pull the trigger, but Burkina, his body was in the way. Now what's going on here? Bernardo Martins has caught the ball. The whistle hadn't gone. Burkina actually won the ball looking at that angle. Yes, he won the ball, and Bernardo Martins then kicked Boquina's foot. Bernardo Martins was so convinced he was going to get a free kick, he caught the ball. The referee's whistle hadn't gone. Now, what's the referee going to decide here? Strictly speaking, it should be handball against Bernardo Martins, but I think we're going to see a drop ball on halfway. And Brazil are going to do the decent thing, are they? In fact, it's going to be Portugal who are going to be given the opportunity to do the decent thing. And indeed they do. Madja, ever the gentleman, knocks it out into touch for a Brazil possession. Eight minutes remaining then. 8 minutes for Portugal to try and find some way back into this match. Jordan Santos on the volley. Madja, it wouldn't come down for him, would it? Ricardinho, dispossessed by Rodrigo. Races forward. Jordan Santos just about the only player on the sand who can keep up with him from a Portugal perspective, I think. Fernando Dede. Jordan Santos kicking the ball against the referee. Still in play according to the official. Ricardinho thinks that should be a Portugal ball. It's not. It's Brazilian. It's a Brazil ball. Boquina. Confronted by Bruno Novo. Good tackle from the Portugal number 9. Well, even if they don't get across the line here, Portugal, it'll still be their best ever finish in the Beach Soccer Intercontinental Cup. The 3rd edition here, first time in the final. Boquina once more. Again, Bruno Novo trying to make the tackle, and frustration for him. He'd made the tackle, the ball had stayed in. He tried to get the ball back to Andrade and conceded the corner. Morosinho, play on, says the official. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, with the two of them pushing each other. Jordan Santos, the other player involved. Morosinho goes back to Mao. Rodrigo keeps that in play. And again, Bruno Novo with the tackle. The near post, Morosinho trying to deflect it in with his chest. He's done that once already in this tournament, scoring a wonderful improvised goal. Oh, well done by Ricardinho, nicking the ball off Boquina, but his shot's off target. Brazil getting ready to rotate. Morosinho, there's 3 players waiting to come on for both sides actually. It's Boquina in fact with the shot. Blocked by Jordan Santos. Just under 5.5 minutes to go. Oh, that was awkward for Andrade. Heart in the mouth time for him for a brief moment before he made the save. Reminder, stay with us at the end of this match. Jordan Santos with a left foot volley just over the top from him. Stay with us at the end of the match, because we'll have the presentation ceremony for you and the individual awards as well. Who's going to be the most valuable player, who's going to be the top goalkeeper and the top scorer. Oh, good skill from Felipe, he's still going. Bowled long by Andrade, finds Jordan Santos. Lucao with the tackle. Bruno Novo, and again Brazil closing down so quickly. Good work from Datina. There was nowhere for Jordan Santos to go then. Bernardo Martins, a bit of magic required from him. Interesting to see who will be the most valuable player. Expect it to be one of the Brazilians, particularly if they win. Felipe, Datina, good tackle from Jordan Santos. Datina's gone down spectacularly. Player down, and that is Datina. He still hasn't got to his feet. Hope he gets now. At the moment, Jordan Santos heads the scoring charts with 8 goals. As for a top goalkeeper, well, Shushkov probably didn't do himself any good today by getting sent off and conceding a soft goal or two. Andrade hasn't necessarily been at his best. Same's probably true of Hosseini. So even though Mao missed one match, he didn't play against the UAE in Brazil's final group stage. I think he's probably going to be a shoo-in for the top goalkeeper. In the matches that he has played, he's conceded only 8 goals. And he's looked very imposing. He was excellent at the back end of the game against Iran yesterday. Rodrigo, I think he must be in with a shout of being most valuable player, along with Bruno Xavier. This goes without saying that he's always in the mix for that particular award. He's on the ball now. Rodrigo trying to get the better of Jordan Santos. Let's wait and see what the officials decide. We'll bring that presentation to you. Good save, Mao. Again, emphasising his skill. Hasn't done much in terms of shot stopping for a long time, Mao, but he was equal to that task. Less than 2 minutes to go. Little give and go by Jordan Santos. Leo Martins, is there room for him to get a shot in? Again, no, Datina's closed him down and rampages forward. Good run from Datina, gets his composure, but then can't find a teammate. Bruno Xavier, down he goes spectacularly. Up he gets, again, great work rate from the Brazilians. Does that stay in? Yes, it does. Leo Martins goes down under challenge from Datina. Time ticking into the last minute. They need a goal now to Portugal in order to set up a grandstand finish. Doesn't look as though it's going to come though. Madja on the sand for one last time. Frustration though for Portugal here. They've had opportunities this evening, they haven't taken them. Brazil have been clinical. They've defended superbly, their work rate has been excellent, and they've scored 2 good goals. Oh, Madja! And then brilliant from Mao to save from Bruno Novo. Madja with the overhead hitting the post, and then Mao up quick as a flash, and that again is why he is one of the great goalkeepers. A shot on the turn from Rodrigo. And that's it. Brazil have done it. No goals in that third and final period, but smiles aplenty for Brazil. They retain the title that they won 12 months ago, and they win this title, the Huawei Beach Soccer Intercontinental Cup, for the 3rd time. 2014, 2016, and now 2017. They draw level with Russia, who won the title in 2011, 2012 and 2015. And Brazil, 47 matches now unbeaten. They didn't set the record in the end for most goals in a single edition of this tournament. They held that from 12 months ago when they scored 39. This time they've scored 38. It was a clinical performance from them in this final. Portugal, well, they'll reflect on the fact that it was a case of what might have been. The stage being set up for the presentation now, and the Brazilian players just kicking some balls into the crowd. They're adoring fans. Portugal in that first period had 3, possibly 4 very decent opportunities from dead ball situations. They didn't take advantage of them, and they'd been made to pay the ultimate price. The Brazilian players getting together and giving thanks for their success, but they've earned it. They really have. They've been a joy to watch throughout this tournament. Bruno Xavier leading the thanks. Outstanding, absolutely outstanding. Let's have a look at some highlights from the action. Felipe with an early free kick, blazed over the top, but that was Bernardo Martins. Good save from Mao, and they had opportunities there. That was off the crossbar from Bruno Xavier. Great scissor kick from him. Cleared Ellington Andrade, but just clipped the top of the crossbar. But these are the sorts of chances that Portugal had. We've seen one from Bernardo Martins. That's 2 from Jordan Santos. And Leo Martins missed one as well. Andrade, by far the busier of the 2 goalkeepers. He made some excellent stops. Doesn't really deserve to be on the losing side, does Ellington Andrade. Didn't have a goal in the first period, but Brazil gradually moved towards the ascendancy, and in that second period it was tough going for Portugal, mainly one-way traffic. Andrade very much to the fore with a couple of excellent stops. That one from Lucao. And that was Boquina's goal, the opening one, 5 minutes into the second period. Lucao set him up, control with the left foot, finishing with the right, and the deadlock broken with Boquina's 5th goal of the tournament. Pedro Silva at the back post, perhaps might have done better here. He was unsighted, the ball sneaked under Rodrigo's foot, and perhaps he wasn't expecting it. And then again, shortly afterwards, trying to latch on to Madja's volley. He didn't do so, and at the other end, Felipe produced that excellent finish, wrapping his left foot around that one, sending it into the roof of the net. And that was the score at the end of the second period, 2-0. Brazil continued to press, and again Andrade was like a brick wall. He did a fantastic job. So close at the end of the second period there, in fact, to Fernando Dede getting on the end of that one. Felipe hitting the inside of the post, with a very clever improvised finish with the inside of his right foot. Madja at the death, hitting the upright as well, but that was too little too late. And Brazil giving thanks for their success, and rightly so. Tremendous performance from them, and they are deservedly the champions for a 3rd time and retain their title. Getting ready then for the presentation ceremony, and we'll be back with that presentation ceremony very, very shortly. Photographers and camera crews have all gathered. The stage is ready. It's been a tiring day and perhaps a tiring tournament for some. For the Brazilian fans though. And time now for the presentation. We wait for the presentation party now to make their way down onto the sand.
And now the following personnel will proceed to have a panel trophies for the ceremony.
ندعو سعادة الشخصيات التالية لتتويج الفائزين.
His Excellency Sonny Connor, Dubai Sports Council General Secretary, Joe Cusco, Executive Vice President and CEO of Beach Soccer Worldwide, and Mr. John Chan, President of Vibrant Consumer Business Group for the Middle East and Africa.
Presentation party then, making their way out onto the stage. His Excellency Saeed Harra, the Dubai Sports Council General Secretary. With him, Joan Cusco, Executive Vice President and Chief Executive Officer of Beach Soccer Worldwide, and Mr. Jiao Jian, President of Huawei Consumer Business Group for the Middle East and Africa. Our sponsors. First time they've sponsored this event. It's the 7th edition of this tournament. Individual awards first of all then, and first up it'll be the top goalkeeper, and no surprise here that it's Mao. A clean sheet for Brazil in the final. You can't do much better than that, and in total in 4 matches that he played, he conceded just 8 goals. Unbelievable stuff from Mao. Fully deserving of this, the most capped player in this Brazilian squad, and it's the 3rd time he's been named goalkeeper of the tournament here in Dubai. He was the top goalkeeper in both the 1st and 4th editions of this Intercontinental Cup in 2011, 2014. And now he makes it a hat-trick. Now for the top scorer. And some consolation for Portugal here. Jordan Santos didn't score this evening, but ended up with 8 goals, just clear of Rodrigo and Bruno Xavier, who had 7 apiece. 4 goals in Portugal's opener against the United Arab Emirates, 3 against Egypt, which was well, fundamental to ensuring his side qualified for the semi-finals, and then 1 yesterday against Russia, and he also scored the winning penalty against Egypt in the shootout. And here's the most valuable player, and it's Rodrigo. No surprise here, he has been absolutely electric. Very, very impressive indeed. A hat-trick against Egypt in Brazil's opener, 2 against Portugal in the 4-1 win that followed, and 2 against the UAE in that rout of the hosts when they won 15-4. 7 goals, but in addition to that, his electric pace and his creativity have been, well, something to behold, something spectacular. And I think that's a perfectly justified award. He fully deserves it. So there are individual award winners. Mao, the top goalkeeper. Jordan Santos, the top scorer. And Rodrigo, very much enjoying the fact that he's been named as the most valuable player. Mao, the only survivor in this Brazilian squad of the Brazil lineup that won the FIFA Beach Soccer World Cup here in Dubai 8 years ago. And well, you wouldn't bet against him still being around for the next FIFA Beach Soccer World Cup, would you, in 2019, given the form he's showing at the moment. Madja getting ready to go up and receive the runners-up plaudits. Frustration for him. Portugal, they've won so much. Five wins in the Euro Beach Soccer League. That's equal most with Russia and Spain. 7 wins in the Euro Beach Soccer Cup, the most by any country. 2 World Cup titles in 2001 and of course on home sand in 2015. But sadly for Maja, he can't add the Huawei Beach Soccer Intercontinental Cup title to that list of accolades. It's time now though for Brazil to go up and collect their prize. Brazil being called up, and the Samba boys enjoying themselves, and why wouldn't they? 38 goals they scored, they conceded just 12, and they're now 47 matches unbeaten. What a year they've had. They won the FIFA Beach Soccer World Cup finals in the Bahamas, and that was after winning the South American qualifier to establish themselves as the best side on the continent before they established themselves as the best side in the world, winning the world crown for the first time in 8 years. They won the Mundialito, they've won the Sudamericana, and now they've won for the 3rd time the Huawei Beach Soccer Intercontinental Cup. So they won the Sudamericana. That was divided into north and south. They won the north section. First time a league contest had taken place in South America. Paraguay won the south section. All they could do was win the games that were put in front of them. That's what they did. Players now, having received their individual awards, about to receive the trophy. Look at them dancing around. The support staff join them. And very shortly they'll be lifting the prize that's second only to the FIFA Beach Soccer World Cup in terms of importance in this sport. Joan Cusco, Said Harrop. They're going to hand it over to Mao, the captain. And Mao takes it and lifts it. Brazil are the champions. In the background there you can see Gilberto da Costa de Souza, smile of satisfaction from the coach, happy to stay in the background while his players take the honours, take the plaudits, and they deserve every praise that they get here. Brazil are the champions. What a performance. And what a tremendous